Roronoa Zoro, that's kind of a tongue twister, I get why they call him Pirate Hunter, is the unofficial first man of the Straw Hat Pirates and is their resident swordsman. Today, we will be building him in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Now this build is a lot simpler than my Luffy build, which you can check out in the description below, as Zoro is a more straightforward character mechanically and his abilities transfer smoothly into Dungeons & Dragons, so this character build will be a lot briefer. I hope. Zoro summarized. Zoro is an incredible swordsman known for his signature free sword style of fighting, but unlike other swordsmen, he is able to send slashes of energy towards his enemy from range. He has awe-inspiring resilience to damage and keeps his cool in battle, assessing the situation and following his head and not his heart. The build overview. Zoro is a swordsman through and through, but this build is more than just an outright fighter. We will be creating a 3-way multi-class, taking 11 levels in Champion Fighter, 2 levels in Barbarian, and 7 levels in Soul Knife Rogue. This build focuses on getting many attacks per turn, gaining advantage on those attacks, and using the increased chance of critical hits to deal immense damage with sneak attack, all while being tanky enough to take hits in the front line of battle. There are a few alternative build options available at the end of this video, and you can find the timestamps in the description below. So let's get into this build. The build order for Zoro is as follows. We will start with 2 levels of Fighter, then 1 level of Barbarian, then 3 levels of Fighter, then 1 level of Barbarian, then 6 levels of Fighter, and finishing off with 7 levels of Rogue. I will thoroughly go over all the choices we make at level 1, then briefly cover every noteworthy ability as we level up and how they can be reflavored to fit a Zoro build. You can skip to the time on screen to see a summary of all of the abilities we chose and how we are reflavoring them for Zoro. Level 1. Fighter Level 1. Using point buy and prioritizing free abilities, we end up with an 8, 8, 10, 14, 15, and 15. We will choose Variant Human as our race, granting us a +1 in 2 abilities as well as a feat. The 2 abilities we will be increasing are Strength and Constitution, and the feat we are choosing is Dual Wielding, which grants us a +1 to AC and allows us to use longswords when dual wielding. We will reflavor these longswords into katanas. Including our racial bonuses, our starting stats are as follows. Strength 15 +1 into 16, Dexterity 14, Constitution 15 +1 into 16, Intelligence 8, Wisdom 10, and Charisma 8. For our first level, we will take Fighter, giving us proficiency in Strength and Constitution saving throws, as well as all armor, shields, and all weapons. We will choose Insight and Intimidation as our skills, which I will elaborate on in a moment. For our background, we will choose Sailor, Pirate, giving us proficiency in Athletics and Perception. Now Zoro is an incredible swordsman, but he kind of lacks skills in any other department. This is the reason I gave him such basic skill proficiencies. Perception and Insight represent his ability to assess a situation in battle and keep a cool head, Athletics represents his raw physical prowess, and Intimidation is due to him being a feared pirate with a large bounty on his head. Also, he has pretty intimidating haki. As a first level fighter, we gain a fighting style, and we will choose 2 weapon fighting, which allows us to add our ability modifier to our second attack. This, in combination with our feat, Dual Wielder, allows us to wield 2 longswords, dealing 1d8 + 3 slashing damage each. From our first level as fighter, we also get Second Wind, which is a nice boost to HP once per short rest. Armor class. We'll be going straight for the best heavy armor available in the game, being Plate Armor. I will be assuming that you can sell your belongings and purchase Splint Armor by the end of level 1 and probably Plate Armor by level 3, putting our starting AC at 17 before adding +1 for our dual wielding feat, which lands us on 18 AC. The disadvantage while sneaking in heavy armor can be reflavored as Zoro's horrible sense of direction, causing him trouble while trying to sneak up on opponents. Level 2. Fighter Level 2. We gain Action Surge, an incredible ability that allows us to take another action once per short rest. You can use this action to attack again, invoking Free Sword style. Level 3. Barbarian Level 1. We will now multi-class into Barbarian to get us the all-important feature of Rage. The way we'll be flavoring our Rage is Zoro putting his bandana on, going into a battle focus. Raging gives us +2 to weapon damage as well as resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. The resistance to damage really suits Zoro as he can take an immense amount of pain. Almost like nothing happened. We also get unarmored defense, but we use heavy armor, so it's irrelevant. Level 4. Fighter Level 3. Here we get to choose our subclass. We will opt for the Champion Fighter. The ability we gain here is that our weapon attacks crit on 19s and 20s, moving it from a 5% chance to a 10% chance. Level 5, Fighter Level 4. Ability score improvement or feat. We will choose an ability score improvement, bumping our strength from 16 to 18. Level 6, Fighter Level 5. At this level we get another attack. This represents how Zoro has grown and improved as a swordsman. Also, our proficiency bonus bumps up to +3. Level 7, Barbarian Level 2. Here we get Reckless Attack, a crucial feature for our Zoro build. Every time we take the attack action, we can make it a reckless attack, meaning that we get advantage on the attack and our opponents get advantage on us. Seeing as we score critical hits on both 19s and 20s, this ability benefits us greatly, as we will be taking free attacks per turn, including the bonus action offhanded one, with advantage. This averages to being a bit over 1 crit every 2 turns. We also gain Danger Sense, which gives us advantage against most dexterity saving throws. This can be reflavored as Zoro's Observation Haki. Level 8, Fighter Level 6. We gain an ability score improvement or a feat. We will be choosing the Great Weapon Master feat, which gives us an option to detract 5 from our attack bonus to add 10 to our damage. We also get to take an additional attack if one of our attacks is a critical hit, which as I mentioned before is highly likely due to having advantage and critting on 19s and 20s. Level 9, Fighter Level 7. Here we gain the fighter ability Remarkable Athlete, allowing us to add half our proficiency bonus, rounded down, to any strength, dexterity, or constitution checks we make that doesn't already use our proficiency. This isn't great, but it does improve our acrobatics and stealth, which can come in handy every now and then. Level 10, Fighter Level 8. Here we get yet another ability score improvement or feat. We will choose to add 2 to our strength, bringing it up to the maximum of 20. Level 11, Fighter Level 9. We get the ability Indomitable, meaning that we can re-roll a saving throw that we failed once per long rest. This is great for reflavoring as armament hardening or observation haki depending on what the saving throw is for. Our proficiency bonus also bumps up to +4. Level 12, Fighter Level 10. At level 10 we get another fighting style. Here we actually have a few options that could work, so choose whichever one of these fits your personal playing style. Defense, +1 to AC when wearing armor. Blind Fighting, we gain blind sight with a range of 10 feet, this is great for observation haki. Or Interception, allowing us to use our reaction to decrease the damage of an attack on our allies by 1d10 +4. This just feels like a Zoro move, you know, jumping in front and crossing your swords to save a crewmate from getting hit. You know, it just has Zoro vibes. As I mentioned before, it is entirely up to you and your specific playstyle. I would probably opt for Blind Fighting or Defense. Level 13, Fighter Level 11. At Fighter Level 11 we finally get our third attack per turn. This is a further improvement of Zoro's swordsmanship as we can now roll 4 attacks per turn with advantage. This means that we're critting almost every single turn. Level 14, Rogue Level 1. As our first level of Rogue we get a few important things. 1. Expertise, allowing us to double our proficiency in 2 abilities. I've chosen Insight and Intimidation, but you can choose whatever fits your personal build better. And 2. Sneak Attack, allowing us to add 1d6 damage once per turn when we have advantage on an attack, and due to us having advantage on all attacks from Reckless Attack, this should happen every single round. Now I know some people disagree with the Reckless Attack Sneak Attack combo, which I think comes from a misunderstanding of what these forms of attack really mean in practice. A reckless attack is you lunging forward and exposing yourself to a higher chance of your opponent hitting you in return for you having a better opportunity to hit them. Now sneak attack is quote unquote, knowing how to strike subtly and exploit a foe's distraction. This is straight out of the player's handbook and is exactly what a reckless attack would give you in combat. A distraction, as you catch your opponent off guard due to your reckless movements. So I think it should be allowed, and I'm a DM most of the time, so I'm allowing it, huzzah. We also get Thieves' Cant, but that is irrelevant to our Zoro build. Level 15, Rogue Level 2. Here we get Cunning Action, which gives us more options to use as a bonus action. Normally we will be attacking, but this is pretty helpful, especially if you're chasing someone, because you can use 2 dash actions in the same turn. Level 16, Rogue Level 3. Firstly, our sneak attack damage moves from 1d6 to 2d6. Now we will choose our rogue subclass in Soul Knife. We get 8 psionic energy dice, d6s, which we can use to activate an ability called Psi Bolstered Knack. allowing us to add a psionic die to an ability check that we are proficient in that we failed, adding the die and expanding it if we succeed. This is a cool ability that really suits Zoro, as he kind of has a knack for things going his way. He can stumble off and get lost in a city only to discover an important secret or accidentally wander into the central conflict. And we also get access to Psychic Blades, which allow us to manifest a 1d6 damage dealing blade in a free hand. We can either drop a sword, or you can ask your DM to let your sword summon like a phantom sword. At level 16, I don't think that this is problematically powerful. We can use this blade to attack enemies from range up to 60 feet. This is how we are representing Zoro's long-range sword/attack things. We also get access to Psionic Whispers, which is effectively telepathy. I don't think this suits Zoro in any way, but maybe in this D&D canon he ate a devil fruit granting him telepathy. Or you could of course just not use the ability, totally up to you. Level 17, Rogue level 4. And our final ability score improvement. Here you can take a feat of your choice, one of the ones I mentioned maybe, or just anyone that excites you, or you could add 2 to your constitution, making it an 18 and increasing our maximum HP by 17. It's entirely up to you. Level 18, Rogue level 5. We get access to Uncanny Dodge, allowing us to halve one attack against us at the cost of a reaction. This can be reflavored as either Armament Hardening or Observation Haki. Additionally, our sneak attack moves from 2d6 to 3d6. Level 19, Rogue level 6. Here we get expertise again. We get to choose another 2 skills to become an expert at, and we are only left with Athletics and Perception. And level 20, Rogue level 7. At our final level, our sneak attack moves up to 4d6 and we get Evasion, meaning that when we roll a dexterity saving throw, we take 0 damage if we succeed and half damage if we fail. This ability can also be flavored as Observation Haki or Armament Hardening. Recap of all reflavored abilities. This is a shortened list of all the abilities this build has and how we reflavored them for Zoro. Feat features. Dual wielding equates to 2 sword style. Great Weapon Master equates to Unigiri or any other powerful attack that Zoro may have. Fighter features. 2 weapon fighting style equals 2 sword style. Offhanded attack or action surge equals 3 sword style. Second wind equals nothing happened. Improved critical, Zoro's better attacks. Extra attack, 3 sword style improved. Indomitable, observation haki / armament hardening. Barbarian features. Rage. This can be putting his bandana on, nothing happened, and armament hardening. Reckless attack. When Zoro commits to an attack knowing that he will get hurt, but knowing he will hurt them more. Danger sense. Observation haki. Rogue features. Sneak attack. A powerful attack such as Onigiri. Cunning action. Just gives you more option. No need for reflavoring, this would just come with battle experience. Psychic blade. Flying slashes, his strange but awesome long-range sword attacks. Psy bolstered knack. Zoro's just knack for figuring things out when it really counts. Evasion. Observation haki / armament hardening. Uncanny dodge. Observation haki / armament hardening. Alternative builds. There are a few different ways to create the world's greatest swordsman, so here are a few alternative builds that I came up with while researching this video. 1. If you want to deal slightly less damage and be significantly tankier, you can take a 3rd level in Barbarian, taking the Totem Bear subclass, which gives you resistance to all damage except for Psychic. Doing this will reduce your sneak attack to 3d6 instead of 4d6, and you will also lose the ability Evasion. Also note, you can opt to take another level of Fighter instead of the final level of Rogue, which would give you another ability score improvement that you can use to add Constitution and Health or a feat of your choosing. 2. If you want to have more variety in your build and more options in combat, you can take the Battlemaster Fighter instead of the Champion Fighter. Doing this halves your chances of critting, but you gain many fine options in combat and some better action economy. I would recommend this if you enjoy more mechanical versatility rather than damage per round. There is definitely something to be said about the Oath of Conquest Paladin, specifically their channel divinities and smites. But all in all, I think they are a bit too magic focused, and I think the Rogue sneak attack is a more consistent, non-resource reliant source of damage than smiting. But you could take levels of Paladin instead of Rogue if you wished. If you plan on doing this, put the initial 14 stat into Charisma instead of Dexterity. And as Warlocks are endlessly customizable, you could make a Hexblade Warlock that could be reflavored into a decent swordsman, but as I have already made a Hexblade Warlock for Luffy, I will not elaborate further on here, but it can be done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. As I'm still new to YouTube, each comment and like and everything really means a lot to me. So please let me know in the comments who you want me to build next, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!